What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of 101 Sports and Cards. I'm Nathan Holloway, with me, Jared Trash.
What's going on?
Jets fired GM Joe Douglas. Jets are stupid. Woody Johnson, their owner, also is not expected to bring back Aaron Rodgers next season. He wanted to bench him on apparently September 20th or September 30th. Who the hell cares? This was a shit show to begin with. Aaron Rodgers sucks. He's washed. He's a shitty leader. Could have told you that during his time in Green Bay. That's why he's never won anything. Because that one Super Bowl, it wasn't him. It was the defense. So yeah, just a shitty leader. So, Tyrod Taylor may actually be able to win them games. Hell, Zach Wilson might be able to win them games because he has a higher winning percentage than Aaron Rodgers does. So does Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold hasn't been a Jet since 2015. And he has a higher winning percentage with them than Aaron Rodgers does. So the Jets aren't the only New York team that's changing, or that wants to change quarterbacks, except the Giants are actually doing it. They demoted Daniel Jones to, this is wrong, because he's not QB3, he's QB4 right now. He's QB4 in practice. Tommy DeVito is set to start. Boy, Tommy. I don't know why they're not starting Drew Lock. It can't be because they want to win game or lose games because Tommy DeVito, they think that gives them the best opportunity to lose. Should have just stuck with Daniel Jones as your quarterback. So you're paying your fourth-string quarterback a shit ton of money. So, Week 11 recap: Eagles defeated the Commanders on Thursday night. Saquon had 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. Packers beat the Bears on a blocked field goal. Shouldn't have won the game. Jordan Love, 261 yards, touchdown, a pick, and a rushing touchdown. Caleb Williams actually played well, 231 yards. He also had almost had 100 rushing yards. Did not score a touchdown, but the Bears were the better team. But, yeah. 11 straight. Steelers defeated the Ravens 18-16. Chris Boswell had 6 field goals. Steelers didn't score a touchdown, clearly, because 6 times 3 is 18. If you didn't know that, which you probably didn't. There you go. There's your little math nugget for the day. No offense to you. Lamar had 207 yards, touchdown, and a pick. Derrick Henry did not get a touch in the fourth quarter, which is unbelievably stupid. Lions dominated the Jags 52-6. I believe both of us said they'd win by at least 40. And, they did. So, Jared Goff had 412 yards, 4 touchdowns in 3 quarters. They put in Hendon Hooker for the 4th. David Montgomery had 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs had 1 touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Mac Jones is still trash. Trevor Lawrence is coming back, and the fact that the Jaguars should be excited that Trevor Lawrence is coming back just makes their situation even more sad. The Rams defeated the Patriots 28-22. Stafford had his best game of the season, 295 yards and 4 touchdowns. Puka and Cooper Kupp both had over 100 receiving yards. They both each had a touchdown. Kupp had 2. Drake May played well, 282 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Saints dominated the Browns 35-14. Derek Carr, 248 yards, 2 touchdowns. Taysom Hill was the story, though. He had 138 yards rushing. He also had 3 rushing touchdowns. Picked him up in fantasy. Jameis had 395 yards and 2 touchdowns, but the Browns are just, God, they're awful. And they can't run the ball because Nick Chubb.
It's not Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb's no longer going to be Nick Chubb. I don't even know why they brought him back. They should just bench him the rest of the year. Just let him fully recover because God knows the Browns ain't doing anything. The Colts beat the Jets 28-27. Anthony Richardson actually had a good game. 272 yards, a touchdown, or a passing touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers continues to suck. But hey, Breece Hall, they actually gave him the ball, and guess what? He got 2 touchdowns. He was the only reason they were in the game. It's amazing what happens when you go to your best player and not Aaron Bitch Rodgers. The Vikings feed the Titans 23-13. Sam Darnold, 246 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Will Levis had 295 yards, touchdown, and a pick. Dolphins took down the Raiders 34-19. Tua had 288 yards and 3 touchdowns, 2 of which went to Jonnu Smith, who had 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. Brock Bowers took over the lead in tight end receiving yards with 126 yards and a touchdown. The Broncos blew out the Falcons 38-6. Bo Nix, 307 yards and 4 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins got benched for Michael Penix, who looked terrible. Seahawks defeat the 49ers 20-17 thanks to a game-winning rushing touchdown by Geno Smith. Jackson Smith and Jigba had 110 receiving yards. Brock Purdy had 159 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. The Bills handed the Chiefs their first loss of the season, 30-21. Josh Allen should be the MVP right now. Screw Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen is MVP. 262 yards, a passing touchdown, a pick, 55 rushing yards, and the game-sealing rushing touchdown. Mahomes had 196 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Chargers defeat the Bengals 34-27 on Sunday night. This game looked like it was going to be terrible. At halftime, the Chargers were just absolutely blowing them out. Bengals came back and to tie it, but the Chargers are much better than the Bengals. Herbert, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins scored 2 touchdowns. Lab McConkey had 123 yards, including 2 big catches on the final drive for the Chargers. Joe Burrow, 356 yards and 3 touchdowns. God, I feel so bad for Joe Burrow because it's not his fault.
His team sucks.
That's a fact. The Texans blew out the Cowboys 34-10. Just how the Cowboys season is going. They tried to open the stadium roof before the game, and part of it fell off.
Look at it going on.
It landed right by like a group of people. So they did not play with an open stadium. They actually had to send somebody up there to bolt down other parts of the roof so they didn't fall down. So the Cowboys, their stadium, just like their team, is just falling apart. And God, they're just shit.
Yeah, they're awful.
C.J. Stroud, 257 yards and a pick. Mixon had 3 touchdowns on the ground. Cooper Rush had 354 yards, touchdown, a pick. Stop playing Cooper Rush and play Trey Lance. You traded for him for a reason. Now you're just he's a free agent after the year. See what you got in him. See if you want to re-sign him. But no, you're playing Cooper Rush, who 354 yards, most of which came in garbage time, because this team just sucks. Complete booty cheeks. They're terrible. This is one of the worst teams. They may be, right now, the worst team in the NFL. If you put them up against, who's the worst team? The Panthers are not the worst team.
Giants.
The Giants aren't the worst. We'll see that matchup. Just think, Thanksgiving Day on Fox, we get to see a matchup between Tommy DeVito and the Giants and Cooper Rush and the Cowboys. Man, that makes me really want to watch football that day. Yeah. And it's the early game. It just sucks. Week 12 preview. Thursday, a AFC North game, Steelers-Browns.
Steelers.
49ers-Packers.
49ers.
Going with the Packers. 49ers, this is a must-win game. Their whole roster was on the injury report this week.
It's been that way all year.
Bucks-Giants.
Bucks.
Chiefs-Panthers.
Chiefs.
You're not going to say it. I'll say it. Panthers. The Chiefs have not impressed me. Cowboys-Commanders. Commanders. Pats-Dolphins.
Pats.
Patriots. Titans-Texans. Texans. Lions-Colts.
Lions.
It's going to be a massacre. You think Anthony Richardson looked good last week? He's going to look like a complete ass this week.
Can we give Joe Goss some MVP love?
No, because they won't.
But he should.
I mean,
he's been arguably the best player in the league.
Every week you look at the box score and he throws like 5 or less incompletions every week, which is amazing. And
he's got like 200 yards at least every game, a couple touchdowns, and his team is the best team in football.
Yeah, the one bad week.
Yeah,
which he threw 5 picks 2 weeks ago, and yet they still won that.
Yeah, but guess what? People have Mahomes over him. Mahomes sucks.
Yeah, because interceptions, 15 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. You know, he's threw 5 interceptions in the first quarter. You know how many touchdowns he's threw in the first quarter of the season? 0. He's overrated, just like that whole team. Vikings-Bears.
Vikings.
I don't even care who wins. I hate both teams. Thanks. Vikings. Broncos-Raiders.
Broncos. Bo Nix is Rookie of the Year.
This is going to be a massacre. Bo Nix is not Rookie of the Year. It's still Jaden Daniels. But
he's starting to close the gap.
Yeah. I mean, between them two, there's nobody else in them. I mean, he'll win AFC Offensive Rookie. Honestly, Bo Nix isn't second for AFC Offensive Rookie. He is second. Brock Bowers deserves it. Brock Bowers is on one of the worst teams in the Raiders.
Yeah, but what Bo's doing, this team should not be as good as they are.
Actually, they should. They have a top 3 defense in the NFL.
But who's his offensive?
Cortland Sutton, who's been a great receiver that nobody talks about.
Yeah.
They have 3 solid running backs.
Yeah. It's good, though.
Cardinals, Seahawks.
I'm going Cardinals.
I'm also going with the Cardinals. Seahawks looked good last week. That means they're
Could be bad this week.
yes. Sunday night, a great game. Eagles and Rams, 2 of the hottest teams in the NFL.
I'm going with the Eagles.
I'm also going with the Eagles.
When everything's clicking, they all look good.
2 more of the hottest teams in the NFL Monday night, although the Ravens just lost. Ravens and Chargers.
Going with the Ravens.
I'm going with the Chargers. Chargers are an underrated team right now. It's amazing what, an actual good head coach does.
And a better defense.
And on to the association. The best thing that happened this week, besides the Cavaliers finally losing, was Tyrese Maxey calling out Joel Embiid for being late to practice and not playing in games in their players' meeting. The 76ers are 2-11. They have the worst record, not just in the Eastern Conference. They have the worst record in the NBA.
This is a team that should be up in the top 3.
They are terrible. Their best player is their rookie, Jared McCain, who took over the top spot in rookie power rankings, which
is it Maxey injured?
Yeah. But Embiid has since he's came back from his injury, air quotes around injury because I don't think he was hurt. When he's played in 2 games, he's missed 2 straight because he was sick. The only thing he's sick of is being on the damn court. The dude just at some point, if you're the Sixers, you don't wait for him to ask out for a trade because he's going to. If people keep calling him out, he's going to. Which this whole team should call him out because it's bullshit what he's doing. Dude's getting paid a ton of money to ride the bench because he doesn't want to play the game of basketball that he's getting paid to do. It's not that hard to stay on the floor. Maybe if you actually worked out, put in time to actually work out, not continue to gain weight, it's not that hard. It's not that hard when you're getting paid millions of dollars to do something that you're great at.
You're supposed to love.
I don't know. This team, the Sixers, there's a better chance they don't make the playoffs than they actually do. There's a better chance that they make the playoffs than Joel Embiid plays in 20 games this season. So, yeah, they got to trade him. I don't know who.
Who'd take him, though?
No idea. Send him to the Heat. Let him and Jimmy Butler get back together. Although, I think they are good friends, but they did not work well together. The Heat, Pat Riley will be stupid enough to actually make a trade. Talking about Pat Riley, he's getting a statue in L.A. Wow. He is one of their best coaches ever, but I don't think he deserves a statue. Cavaliers suffered their first loss of the season to the Celtics after starting the season 15-0. It's about damn time. Although I hated that the Celtics won. No offense. I'm just happy the Cavaliers finally lost. I'm tired of all these fans being, the Cavaliers are so good. They're so good. Wait until the playoffs. Because you know who doesn't show up in the playoffs?
The whole team.
Darius Garland. Donovan Mitchell half the time. Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs, he's either dropping 50 or he's dropping 2. Mobley doesn't show up. Jared Allen doesn't show up. You don't have a true number 1, because guess what? Donovan Mitchell's not a good leader, and he's not a true number 1 on a team. He proved that while in Utah. Just speaking facts, and Cavs fans think that, they're back in the LeBron era. They have. Dalton Knecht scored a career-high 37 points on 9 threes in their win over the Jazz. The Lakers have won 6 straight. Their defense is still god-awful. On baseball, Paul Skeens, Luis Hill won Rookie of the Year.
I don't agree with both of these.
I don't either. It should have been Jackson Merrill. How the hell did Luis Hill win Rookie of the Year?
It should have been Cowsell.
Do we not realize that Luis Hill has made starts every season since 2021? Yet he's winning Rookie of the Year in 2024. He had a great year. He had a great first half of the year.
Yeah.
Second half is not good. Now, you can say the same thing about Colton Cowser. But, Cowser played. Skeens, we all knew it was going to be Skeens because the voters can't stop riding him.
Yeah, he might win Cy Young.
He didn't. Chris Sale, Garrett Crochet named Comeback Players of the Year. Deserving of both. Pat Murphy of the Brewers and Stephen Vogt of the Guardians won Manager of the Year.
I agree with Stephen Vogt.
I didn't agree with either of them. And Tariq Skubal and Chris Sale were named Cy Young.
Those two will dissolved. I'm thinking of the word, man.
Couldn't think of the word deserved.
Yeah.
On to college football, week 12. Baseball. Soto met with the Yankees. The Yankees said that, it was a good meeting. They have to say that. apparently Rob Manfred thinks that Roki Sasaki isn't going to sign until the international signing date in January. I don't know why you'd wait that long, but it doesn't even matter. Why don't you just go ahead and sign right now with the Dodgers, because you know that's where you're going.
Yeah. When's MVP voting?
I don't know. They're releasing everything.
That was like the 30th or something like that.
I think it's all this week. It should be the next thing.
Yeah.
It's the only thing left.
Yeah. Might be tomorrow. I don't know.
Frankly, I don't care. He already knows winning it.
Yeah.
All right, college football, Week 12 recap. Number 1, Oregon escaped to Wisconsin, 16-13. Braden Locke.
Sucks.
God, I hate you. Hate him. Dude's the worst quarterback I've ever seen. He shouldn't even be D3. We should have easily won this game. The fact that we have led at home against Oregon and Penn State, 2 top 5 teams, and we can't close out a freaking win is unbelievable. And now we're not even going to be bowl eligible because we have 5 wins. We play, I believe it's Minnesota, which is a rivalry game, which is always a tough game because, you know, the Golden Gophers just, they suck ass every other game, but when they play us, oh, God forbid, they become freaking Alabama. And then, I don't know, we play another Big Ten team, which we'll probably lose. So, we did do something good. Luke Fickell fired Phil Longo. It's about damn time. Phil Longo should have never been our offensive coordinator. He was there when Paul Chryst was there. And if you want to do anything, you should have just moved Paul Chryst to offensive coordinator. Because he's a great offensive play caller. He's not good as a head coach. But, I mean, he's doing a lot better than Luke Fickell is. Number 20, Clemson held off Pitt 24-20. I was praying Pitt would win this game, but, you know, they forgot how to tackle Cade Klubnik, who ran like a 50-yard touchdown to win the game. Stanford upset number 19, Louisville 38-35. Florida upset number 22, LSU 27-16. LSU's season is officially over. So is Louisville's from the last thing. 21, South Carolina took down 23 Mizzou 34-30, but yet Mizzou is still ranked this week.
They must love Mizzou.
They have to.
Both of these lost like 6 games.
They've lost 4. I believe it's 3 or 4 at this point.
They've all been like games they should have won.
Yeah. Both of these teams, it doesn't matter. They're done. Yeah. Arizona State upset number 16 Kansas State 24-14. Kansas State season, it's over. Number 12 Georgia dominated number 7 Tennessee 31-17. I'll talk about that more in a second, just because it's gonna be another fun week talking about the rankings. New Mexico upset number 18 Washington State 38-35. Washington State, your season is over. Kansas ends number 6 BYU's perfect season bid with a 17-13 win. BYU should have lost last week to Utah. This should have been their second straight loss. We're just going to go into the new rankings. Number 1, Oregon. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Texas. Number 4, Penn State. Number 5, Indiana. 6, Notre Dame. 7, Alabama. 8, Miami. 9, Ole Miss. 10, Georgia. 11, Tennessee. They went down 4 spots. Boise State is 12. 13 is SMU. 14 is BYU. So, Tennessee, they're ranked 11th. They're the first team out. Because Boise State now holds the 4 seed because they would be a conference winner. BYU, who is ranked 14th, holds the 5 seed because they would be a conference winner. This playoff system just continues to just not grow on me. Because for one, I get that every conference besides the SEC voted against having just the top 4 teams get buys. Which
I think it should be.
It should be, but most teams didn't want that because they figured that, you know, the top 4 teams, 3 of the top 4 are probably going to be SEC teams. Right now there's 1 SEC team in the top 6. And the Big Ten's they're probably pissed that they didn't do it because they'd have 3 first-round buys right now. The fact that number 2, Ohio State, since Oregon has already, they've clinched a spot in the Big Ten championship game. If Oregon goes on, wins out, they'd be the 1 seed. Ohio State, who would be 2, which they would have to more than likely play in the Big Ten championship game, unless Ohio State somehow loses this week to Indiana, which we're going to pick here in a second. They're going to be in the Big Ten championship game, but they would be the 5. They would be playing the 5 seed, BYU. That makes 0 sense.
I think it should be the top. Is it 14 teams are taken?
It's 12.
I would take the top 12 teams in the country, and the top 4 seeds get the buys. Don't matter if you're a small school or big school.
I just want to say I wouldn't have buys.
Yeah,
You want to make it as much as like the NCAA tournament for basketball. There ain't teams that get buys. If you wanted to do something like that, then have the first 4 out, or first 4 in, I guess, for it. Play them, and just expand it. Because right now you have 12 teams. There's about 3 that are going to win a title. Because looking at this, Oregon,
good chance.
Ohio State has a good chance. Texas hasn't proven anything. Penn State.
No.
The fact that Penn State's 4 pisses me off. The fact that Indiana is 5. Indiana has played one of the easiest schedules. And they're finally going to show their true colors this week whenever they get absolutely murdered by Ohio State. Notre Dame, what have they done? They have one of the easiest schedules. They finally have a ranked matchup this week, but of course it's against Army. And, Army ain't going to be able to compete with them, more than likely. They lost in Northern Illinois. The fact that they're 6, and the fact that Alabama is 7th, who has, the win over Georgia. They have multiple good wins, but yet they're behind Indiana and Notre Dame, who have not played anybody. Ole Miss is another team. They have good wins. Georgia has good wins. The fact that Tennessee is the first team out, and they have good wins. I just don't get it. I really don't. But what do I know? Week 13 preview. The biggest game of the week is Big Noon Saturday on Fox. Number 5, Indiana, and number 2, Ohio State.
Ohio State by 25.
Ohio State's absolutely going to murder them. Indiana, after this week, should not be in the top 12. Will they be? Yeah, they will. Because the committee just loves them, and I don't know why. Number 9, Ole Miss in Florida. We saw Florida upset LSU.
It's Ole Miss.
Oh, it's Ole Miss. Number 4, Penn State versus Minnesota. Minnesota's been okay. I said that, whenever they play us, they turn great.
Minnesota. Penn State hasn't really proved nothing to me.
I'm going with Penn State just because it's Minnesota.
Yeah.
Number 14, BYU. Number 21, Arizona State.
Arizona State.
I'm going with Arizona State. BYU has shown who they are the last 2 weeks. They're not that good. Arizona State has been one of the most underrated teams in the country. They only have 2 losses. Nobody was really talking about them until they beat Kansas State last week. They're the better team. And BYU, this is a must-win game.
Yeah.
Colorado, number 16 Colorado, and Kansas. Kansas just came off of upsetting BYU.
I still think, I want to go with Kansas, but I don't think they could beat Colorado right now.
I'm going with Colorado. Colorado has a very easy way to get into the college football playoff, just because the Big 12 is god-awful.
Yeah.
Should they be in? No, because they're not the best team. Yeah, you're going to have 2 top 5 picks, possibly the 2 top picks in the draft. I don't care. Number 19, Army. Number 6, Notre Dame.
Army.
I'm going with Notre Dame. Army's not going to be able to.
Yeah.
They run the football too much. All the naval academies just run all the military academies, not the naval academies. All the military academies.
So that'd be just like the Marines?
Yeah, just run the ball too much. Except for Air Force, but that's because Air Force just sucks. Army did release some sick-ass jerseys for the Army-Navy game later on.
We need a Marines game. That team would destroy. You don't think so?
The bad thing about the new college football is that every team can welcome transfers in. Yeah. Besides
that kind of sucks.
Because you're not going to get, some 5-star quarterback that's sitting 3rd string that gets benched and then be like, yeah, you know what? I just want to join the Army.
Yeah. That's true. That kind of sucks for me.
Number 7, Alabama versus Oklahoma.
Alabama.
I'm also going Alabama. I don't even know why I included this game. Oklahoma's terrible. Out of college basketball, at least Wisconsin won something this week. They upset number 9 Arizona 103-88. 13 Purdue took down number 2 Alabama 87-78. And number 23 Texas A&M beat number 21 Ohio State. That is not the correct score.
What a terrible game that was.
Damn. I don't know where I got that score from.
Was it the football?
No. I don't know. I don't know what the score was. It definitely wasn't 23-21 like I said. If it was, then
that game was horrible.
Yeah. So the new rankings: number 1 stays Kansas. Number 2 is UConn. Number 3 Gonzaga. 4 Auburn. 5 Iowa State. Purdue. 6 they went up 7 spots. They'll drop because of what happened Monday. Tuesday. Yesterday. 7 Houston. 8 Alabama. They dropped down 6 spots. Number 9 is Kentucky. They moved up 10 spots. Remember they beat Duke last week. Number 10 UNC. Duke is now 12. They dropped down 6 spots. Arizona dropped 8 spots to 17. And Wisconsin from unranked to number 19. And we almost blew it all last night against, I believe, Vaquero.
Who?
No idea. We won by like 2 points.
Do you have anybody good?
No. All of our good players transferred.
Nice.
Including one to Kansas.
Your rival. No. Kansas is good.
So last night, Tuesday, number 15 Marquette blew out number 6 Purdue 76-58. I don't remember what his name is, but player from Marquette had a triple-double as the first since Dwayne Wade was at Marquette. So just a little while ago. Just 2003.
21 years. Going on 22.
So the best games this week, there are 6 ranked matchups. Wednesday, which is tonight. You already know what happens by the time this is uploaded. Number 25, Illinois. Number 8, Alabama. I don't know how Illinois is ranked.
Alabama.
We're not picking teams. We're not picking them. We don't pick college basketball.
Why?
Thursday is number 13, Baylor. Number 22, St. John's. Friday is number 12, Duke. And number 17, Arizona. Next week is when it gets really spicy. Next Monday, number 4, Auburn. And at number 5, Iowa State. Then Tuesday, 2 great matchups. Number 7, Houston versus number 8, Alabama. And number 1, Kansas versus number 12, Duke. Next Tuesday is definitely a time to tune in to the Sonic Blockbusters on ESPN. I believe they're on ESPN. If they're not, and I just screwed that up, ESPN, I just gave you free credit for being ass. On to other sports. F1, Las Vegas Grand Prix is this weekend. Who wins?
Max Verstappen.
I'm also going Max. I said I wouldn't pick him all year. He clinches championship this week.
Yeah, and Lando gets another penalty because he's an idiot.
Let's just hope Carlos doesn't hit.
That's Drain Main.
They were doing the racing simulator today, like the EA F1 racing simulator. And I forgot, I think he was racing with his teammate. I think he was racing with Charles on there. And Charles was like, hey, this is where the manhole cover was. Carlos was like, I'll show you a manhole cover, and run straight through the corner. It was fun.
I love Charles. He's actually good.
That's all I have. Riley Herbst was announced to 2311 Racing, if anybody cared. Which nobody does.
Ryan Preece got a ride.
Yeah, he did. With RFK. Congrats to him.
He'll be better.
He'll be in the 60th, winningest car RFK history. Thanks to Mark Martin, I believe. Ran the 61st.
It's been if it was Mark Martin in the beginning of his career, it was like in the 90s, so I wouldn't know. I watched Mark Martin as a kid.
That's all I have. That's all I have. You have anything else? Yeah, enjoy college basketball. Enjoy watching Ohio State whoop the shit out of Indiana. I will be enjoying that game.
That's Saturday, right?
Yep. The NBA announced that Christmas Day for the Knicks and Spurs game, which is the first game on Christmas Day, they're going to have a Mickey Mouse broadcast.
Oh my gosh.
And the NBA is wondering why their viewership is down. Good job, Adam Silver. Doing a great job. Thank you guys for listening. Come back here next week. Peace.